But no, Cormac, you've got some good, interesting stuff going on. Have you finished your Kickstarter for your game? Was it still ongoing? Because if it's still ongoing, I don't mind popping the link into the chat for people, and you can talk about it in there. If you send it to me on Discord, I can pop it in. But yes, so Cormac's in the chat, and he's actually got his own game Kickstarter going. And so I'm going to pop that in for both Twitch and for the YouTubes. But actually, let's bring this up. Let's have a little look about it. I'm going to pause stream. So yes, he's kickstarted his own game. It's called Legacy of Valor. So yeah, I'm sure he can talk a little about it in the chat, and you can find stuff on his thing. But if we get the Steam link as well up, so people can have a little look at all of this. And if they're interested, they can obviously Kickstarter, because that's how the Owlcat game style as well. Because I was original Kickstarter for both Kingmaker and Wrath of the Righteous. Though I came in a bit late with Rogue Trader. Yeah, looks like it's done well on it so far. Yes. No, it looks like it's going to be third person. Sort of medieval RPG rather than CRPG. Although Cormac can tell us a little bit more about it himself. Actually, let's see if he's free. He might not be in a position to join a call, but if he is, I can just quick drag him in for a couple of seconds. Hello, sorry to just grab you on the random.
Okay, I didn't expect a call right now.
Sorry, I was just thinking that whilst we had you in stream, did you want to talk stream through about what the game is that you're kickstarting?
Yeah, sure. So in general, we want to create a hybrid project between an story-driven RPG mixed with kingdom management and mixed with strategy. So if you want to have a look at it in terms of you are starting from nothing, becoming something, and then you're gonna get your plot of lands. And once the big story is over, we don't want the game to be over, but then open up into an open world sandbox experience where you then build up your kingdom, do your whole diplomacy parts and whatnot. So that's kind of like the short of it.
Yeah, well, to be fair, that's actually one of my favorite style of games. Like, I've always loved stuff like Manor Lords, even going back to like the old Civilization games, and even what was the other one, Crusader Kings, stuff like that. But I'm also a big fan of actually getting involved in the action. Like, I'm actually really excited about the Warbands update coming in for Mountain Blade Bannerlord.
Yeah, the North Sales, War Sales, I think it's called.
Yeah, that's the one. So yeah, how, like, if you were to sell the game, and like what comparisons to games you take, like what elements do you think that you could say is similar, but obviously it would be direct one-to-one comparisons?
I mean, in terms of working now on the game, direct comparisons are very harsh and not like to be done. But I heard a lot of people who play tested and looked into it. They mentioned hybrids or a combination of Kingdom Come Deliverance meets Mountain Blade.
Okay, yeah. So
these two comparisons were very often drawn to it. And fun fact, Warhorse Studios did recommend us. We also did the motion capture for the trailer in their mocap studio.
That's really cool. Yeah, because I'm looking at your stretch goals here. Because obviously, large scale battles at 220k. I hope you guys do hit that one, because that's one that I'd want to see. Obviously, online co-op multiplayer is going to be one that people will be really excited for. So yeah, there's a lot of really. Cool
all the stretch goals are going to come into the game regardless.
Yeah,
it's only a question of the speed. Like if we have, of course, a higher funding, we can expand the team in terms of numbers and be faster.
Yep.
And have all these elements ready for the. I mean, we're aiming 2027. So yeah, fingers crossed. If not, then of course stuff will be added as we go in terms of production, and the game will probably then launch in early access.
Yep.
all a question of the coin, sadly.
So what's it like going from discussing and like playing games to actually creating your own game?
For me, it's for me, it's kind of like a dream come true, you could say,
Mm,
because
mm.
I always dabbled around the whole gaming scene, being a content creator, and also worked with some publishing teams together, Hooded Horse and Fire Squid.
Yep.
And yeah, I just had that experience in terms of marketing, in terms of seeing behind the
Hmm.
games, in terms of putting the whole project together. And now I just stumble upon indie games and give my 2 cents to them and try to help out. And the help outs apparently ended in me getting hired to join the team.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like one of my favorite things is always looking for like proper RPG games that have development. Like so one thing, like I do like JRPGs, but the one problem I always have is you don't visually develop. You're obviously playing that character, you've got that outfit, and even though you get like new weapons and armors and stuff, you don't really see it change in it. And like in
Mhm.
other games where sometimes you come in with the really big like power fancy, but again, you don't see the world develop to your actions. But when you're like building your own settlements and cities and stuff, that's actually really cool. But there's a lot of games that they touch into what I want, but they don't hit all the areas, because like sometimes they'll go like full like survival where you build everything up from scratch, which is cool in itself, but then there's like no world to explore. It's just kind of dealing with monsters and stuff. But then you have stuff like Bannerlord, which is very similar, but obviously it's very limited what you can do. And like I've looked at this a couple of times, and it definitely hits every element that I like in games, where you sort of like build yourself up, build your kingdom up, develop your own cities yourself, and then obviously the way that you get yourself through the game will affect sort of what you're doing in the open parts at the end.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of games who are scratching one aspect and
Mm.
then are lacking in the others. And with Philip, we have the skill to bring all the aspects together into one. And I mean, there's a lot of things going on that I can sadly not
Yeah,
or not allowed to
not
talk at
discussed.
this
Yeah.
point about it. But overall, I think the mix of telling a cool story, getting you involved into the worlds,
Mm.
getting care for the world and the characters that are present there, and then give you the tools of like, okay, that's what's going on. Until here, this is what happened. Now it's up to you to write your own story and
Yeah.
decide where you want to go, what you want to do.
Hmm.
And yeah, I mean, I think that the balancing part will be the most difficult one. Is like
Yeah.
how crazy do you want to go in terms of immersion and detail?
Mm.
Where does the fun end? Or of course, we'll not be able to please everybody.
Yeah.
Those gonna be was a lot of tests
To be
and closed
fair,
beta.
it's one of the few game genres where I don't care if I do steamroll towards the end of the game, just as long as like the early and mid game is there. And I
Mhm.
know like some like if you play, did you play the Total War games?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, because I know like Total War 2, the AI used to empire build, so the end game was actually really, really fun because you'd have your giant empire, then you'd be fighting the other half of the map. But they don't really do that in Total War 3, and that's been like one of my biggest disappointments with the change of their AI, is basically by turn
Are we
25,
talking
the
about
game's over.
Warhammer 2
Yeah,
and
yeah,
3?
Warhammer Total War 2 and 3.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because that was always a little bit of disappointment that the early game was kind of where all the content was in the third one, whereas the second one, it was mostly the end game, because like turn 50 to 100, you'd be suddenly fighting half the world because they would have empire built themselves. But yeah, no, it looks really cool what you're doing. You might not be able to tell us now, but are you getting to lend yourself to any voice or motion cap acting?
Yeah, definitely both
Nice!
directions, and
Nice!
most likely it will. I will use that skill set also for our internal things.
Hmm.
Most likely to, of course, cut budget a little bit.
Yeah.
But we do have, as you can see right now in the pictures that you're going through, we have partnered with
Mm.
an Czech night group who are doing reenactments and whatnot.
Yeah, because you did one
So
recently, because I remember you were sending some pictures.
yeah, exactly. We did a few events recently. And yeah, just before the initial Kickstarter ended. So, I mean, we have lead pledges on, so people can still
Hmm.
grab the goodies. in terms of game key, full-fledged armor sets,
Yeah.
forged after your measurements, the swords that the astronaut was holding. There will be like a family sword being crafted with your family crest on it,
Hmm.
being scanned as an NPC in the game, and like we have a lot of goodies, of course, for the trust and support that the people are throwing at us.
Yep.
So yeah.
No, that all sounds really cool. It's like Wiggles in one of the Twitch side chats says it looks to him a little bit like Kingdom Come, but with like the actual building system and stuff. And whilst it's always unfair to always make like direct comparisons, it'd be so cool if it was. Like, because some people are like, oh, if only it was like this, but with this, and some people would be like, oh, well, that's kind of not what we're doing. But if it like in the background, if it is, it's like, yeah, that'd be great.
I mean, yeah, but cycling back to focusing on a story narrative, and
Mhm.
then open up to actually then give you the responsibility of doing something with what you
Yeah.
get.
So do
So
you guys have like an idea in mind of how much each section should be, or is that not being discussed yet?
we don't have any rough estimates right now,
Mhm.
but I think we're gonna have like I'm just throwing numbers at you right now, so it could be more, it could be less. A rough estimate of a nice 20 hours of narrative experience that is
Okay, that
probably going to
sets you
be
up for the
quite
open
linear.
world.
Exactly, it was going to be
Yeah.
quite linear in terms of like teaching you the ropes
Mhm. Mhm.
in the most sense, and see if we can immersively teach you the mechanics of the game and the aspects of the game, so you get a little bit of aspects of how you fight, you get a little bit of
Yeah.
aspects of how you roll over a little plot of land, what's important to keep in mind and whatnot, because we want the world to create quite immersive and harsh. So if you, for example, don't prepare good for the winter, maybe it will, screw you over because you run out of food and then your people will die, and then it's end game. We also play around with the idea of skipping the story parts
Yeah.
and give you the option that once you've completed the narrative, you get the um, extra new game sort of thing where you can just straight up jump into the sandbox experience and create your own character
Yep. Okay, so
and
yeah, you can
design it.
do sort of that tutorial narrative part, and then for future runs, if you want to go straight into like the world management, you can just skip that. That's really cool. Because I
Exactly.
know
Yeah.
loads of people always request features like that for games because yeah, sometimes the prologue section or the early story section can be a bit tedious.
Yeah, you could see the story section as a kind of like a prologue. Yeah. Yeah, it would be, in my opinion, a big pain in the ass if you would have to replay it over and over again, only if you want to,
Yeah,
try
yeah.
something
If
else
you
or
only
try
wanted to
something
do the
different.
latest section, yeah, because it's kind of like yeah, Bandlord, they do that. Their tutorial prologue thing is basically you family member gets kidnapped, you get taught how to hunt down bandits and stuff, and then you just get
Mhm.
thrown into the world and you can go explore this very very bare bones questing, but you can end up starting to take over kingdoms management.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it sounds really cool.
Exactly,
But
exactly.
thanks for coming in and explaining. Obviously, I put the link out to the chat, and I just because I spawned
Big,
you in
big
there,
thank you.
I was like, actually, yeah, let's discuss about it because obviously I've been very keen to see this come through. So I thought
Yeah,
it was a very good
definitely.
excuse to show it to the stream, and we got 50 people watching, so why not? But yeah,
Yeah, sure.
I'll put the
Definitely,
link in
definitely.
one more time.
I'm also very excited to see the reactions of the people as we're showing more. And yeah, definitely for those who end up playing it, make sure to not get too comfortable in your high mighty power seats when you are then in the sandbox thing, because we're planning some late game surprises.
Ooh, I'm not even going to hint at what I think it could be, just in case I do get close. But no, that sounds awesome. No, I like the sound of it. But yeah, but thanks for stopping by. And like I said, sorry to ambush you like that. But I saw you in the chat. And I was like, well, if he's got a free moment, we could always just quickly go over it.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? We got him in a good
Yeah,
moments right now.
yeah.
So
Well,
big thanks to you, Raven, for showing some spotlight over here. Thanks to all the audience and chat for listening to me rambling over the game.
yeah. Well,
And
but people are up to cool stuff. Might as well discuss it. Like, be like, hey, by the way.
of course, and as always, if you or the community of yours has any questions, let me know. More than happy to answer. And if you want to, you have it right down the screen. Jump into the Discord
Yep.
and
funny
share
enough, I'll post that
suggestions,
on my
ideas,
Discord as
wishes
well.
over there, because we want to create it together with the people. So the more heads come together, I think the more the bigger, cooler shit we can do.
Yeah. No, but yeah, thank you very much. I'll definitely I'll catch you later, and I'm sure that we'll probably be doing some collabs once Dark Heresy Alpha's coming closer if you have time.
Oh, of course, I would love to. I would love to.
Nice. We'll have. I'll send you a message a little bit closer time. But yeah, no, thanks. I'm going to pop off now because I wanted to quickly do a tier list with the stream, and then I was probably going to end what I was doing there for earlier today anyway.
Gotcha. All the best to you, and all the best to chats over there on Tubes and the Twitcheries. Have a good one.
Yep, you too. Bye. And but yes, that's Korma. Yeah, got an awesome little Kickstarter for a game going. So yeah, thought we would show that whilst he was in there. So yeah, so Warhorse and Owlcat have both recommended it. He's obviously in the Owlcat partner program, and he does streaming himself. He's done, when they were doing some of the DLCs, he was on the hosting panel with Owlcat, and obviously he's used some of their motion capture stuff with I think he said Warhorse to get some of their cutscenes done. So yeah, they've definitely going for that big kingdom management third person RPG sort of create your own adventure style thing. And what he was saying, like, gonna have a early bit of story content that then's gonna build into the open world sort of stuff. And once you've done it once, you'll be able to skip that part and go straight to the open world stuff if you want to. But you know, it sounds cool as shit. But yeah, I'm always happy to advertise people doing stuff like that, because if it's a game I want to play, let's get some money into it. I'll throw some YouTube ad revenue into there as well.